So UG or PG ಎಲ್ಲ students?
UG, ma'am.
Okay, in a year?
Ma'am, all the years are here, ma'am. First year, second year, and third year.
Oh, together?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, fine. So roughly எவ்வளோ people இருக்காங்க இப்போ?
Ma'am, there are 6 people are going to speak and there are 96 participants in the Zoom meet. Good day, everyone. Let's start the today's session with a prayer. I request Ms. Sundari to sing the prayer. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Doyesavasahunam, Yesu Panchanamokaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam Chesarvesim. Padamam Havai Mangalam. Padamam Havai Mangalam. Now, I would like to call Ms. Radhika ma'am to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Yes. Good day. Welcome everyone. On behalf of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashun Jain College for Women, the IQAC and the School of Commerce, the Department of BCom Accounting and Finance, Shift 2, it gives us immense pleasure to invite you all to deliberation on the budget 2021. I extend a warm welcome to our guest, Ms. Bhargavi S., Chartered Accountant, Head IOAS, IIT Madras, ICSR. To be a guest and moderator, I welcome the speakers of today's discussion, and I also welcome all the faculty members and the students of all the departments. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Union Budget 2021, which has come at a time when India's economy is reeling under the after effects of the COVID-19 induced lockdown, was presented by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman at Parliament on 1st February 2021. Nirmala Sitharaman said the budget for 2021 rests on 6 pillars, from healthcare to infrastructure. We now have 6 speakers to discuss on various topics of Budget 2K21. Hope this session would be informative. First, I would like to call Ms. Shrutika of 3rd year to deliberate on the topic health and well-being.
Good day, everyone. I'm Shrutika Narendran. I am here to talk about health and well-being aspect of this budget 2021. As every one of us know, health has been a very big concern of the whole world for the past 1 year. This year, as a fresh beginning, we have started giving out vaccines to people across the country to get over the COVID-19. In this year's budget, a great emphasis is given to the health aspect of the economy. There has been a tremendous increase in the amount which has been framed for health and well-being of the country. The main focus has been on prevention, curing, and well-being. Under prevention, we have the vaccines. Around 35,000 crores has been allocated for the COVID-19 vaccine, and India is trying to better itself with the pneumococcal vaccine to avert 50,000 child deaths annually. Now, moving on to the second part, which is curing. Government has made allocations for health systems. In health systems, a lot of medical centers has been formed in urban and rural areas to form a healthier environment. And also, the government has established new policies regarding health and wellness and allocated a huge amount for them. The last part, we've got prevention from disease. This is a vast subject and there are a lot of preventive measures to be taken. Under this, we have nutrition. To make sure everyone in the country is receiving proper nutritious food, Mission Portion 2.0 was formulated. And next is water supply. Around 2,87,000 crore over 5 years of Jal Jeevan Mission urban to be launched with an aim to provide 2.86 crore household tap connections, universal water supply, and liquid waste management. And then we have Swachh Bharat. Urban Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0 is formulated to maintain a cleaner economy among urban areas. And then we have clean air. In this, we have around 2,217 crores to tackle air pollution in 42 urban centers. And then we have scrapping policy. In this scrapping policy, it means to scrap all the vehicles of personal use and commercial use. When it comes to personal use, it is given as 20 years, and when it comes to commercial use, it is given as 15 years. And this has been my observation on health and well-being. So would any of you like to ask me some questions?
Hi, Shrutika. I have a doubt. What has been the difference between last year's and this year's budget on health?
Okay. From last year to this year, which is 2020 to 2021, there has been a tremendous increase of 137%. So yeah, which is 2,23 crores against 94 crores from last year. Any other question?
Okay. Do any of you have any other questions?
As you said, they have taken many preventing, curing, and well-being measures. Can you please say how many health centers have been formed in rural areas?
Okay, when it comes to health and wellness centers, many have been formed in rural and urban areas. When it comes to rural areas, it's around 17,788, and when it comes to urban areas, around 11,000 health centers has been formed. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
What is the amount allocated for Swachh Bharat this year?
In this year, Swachh Bharat 2.0, around 1,41 crores has been allocated for having a cleaner society. Any other questions?
Thank you, Shrutika.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I would like to call upon Ms. Pratulya of first year to deliberate on the topic physical and financial capital and infrastructure.
Hi, I'm Pratulya, and I'm here to deliberate on the topic on physical and financial infrastructure. Presenting the Union Budget 2021 was not short of a mammoth task. The worldwide pandemic did not make it any better. At present, the flailing economy marked by a contracting GDP required a push from the government. The finance minister has rightly taken a leaf out of the Keynesian economics for the same. Pushing the infrastructure and capital expenditure is vital given the multiplier effects of infrastructural spending on economic growth. This year's budget witnessed a dramatic increase in the expenditure levels and a massive hike in the measures for privatization. Therefore, one can say it's a step in the right direction. It has adopted a brilliant strategy of large-scale infrastructure rollout, funded by asset monetization of the existing roads, power lines, gas pipelines, and railway assets. The budget also covers the funding of a new education policy, which is extremely vital as it provides the human resources required for the growth in this decade. Adequate provisions has been made for health, education, agriculture, MSME, and startups. The government will also set up a new development finance institution known as the DFI. It will have a starting capital of $2.7 billion. This will be used to fund the large-scale infrastructure projects. Special allocation has been made for states such as West Bengal, Assam, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Massive augmentation in the capital expenditure on roads, railways has been announced, while the National Infrastructure Pipeline, the NIP, has been enlarged to 7,400 projects. This will obviously require a major increase in the funding, not only from the central government, but also from the state as well as the private sector. The government's commitment to delivering the NIP through the creation of institutional structures, monetizing assets, and enhancing an increase in infrastructure for the state's budget is commendable. Next on the budget agenda is setting up for company to manage the bad debts for bank. As the spread of the COVID-19 has adversely stalled economic activities, which has resulted in a large-scale job losses, this has adversely affected the cash flow in businesses with an overarching impact on the obligations, including tax payments, loan repayments, and tax payments. Which then brings me to the health of the government sectors, such as the ailing public sector units. Many of them will go under the hammer this year. India has set some really ambitious targets for itself. The government wants to raise 1.7 lakh crore from disinvestments and wants to put some of the worst performing public sector units up for sale. It also wants to revive the bank with a cash infusion of 20,000 crore rupees for recapitalization. 2 public sector banks and 1 general insurance company will be privatized through the course of the year. It has announced the expansion of the Ujjwala scheme, which covers an additional of 1 crore households, and the announcement of the city gas distribution to over 100 new districts. The government has shown an intent of increasing availability and accessibility of clean energy to its citizens. It's admirable that the government has continued with its focus on clean energy and infrastructure augmentation. The FDI reforms point towards a self-confident India, signaling the world that it is ready for free and fair competition between the global and the domestic players. Supporting the budget with a credible plan to achieve the targets of Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat mission and a religious execution will make the proposed initiatives see the light of the day and set the economy on a path of turnaround. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratulya. So do any of you have any questions or doubts?
I have a question. Pratulya, should the physical deficit be an alarming concern as of now?
Well, no, it shouldn't be alarming at all. Our fiscal deficit was supposed to be at 3.5% last year, but it was pegged at 9.5 due to the unforeseen pandemic situations. India has done very well in the vaccine front, and it has done acceptably well in the economic front. It has embraced a holistic approach, and it is considered to be the fastest growing economy in the forthcoming years. Under normal circumstances, for a developing nation such as India, the fiscal deficit is supposed to be at 2.5 or 3%. But this year, we have to compensate for last year's situation, such as a series of lockdowns and pressing pause on all economic activities. One of the economic surveys that I had once read, it said something which is beautifully articulated. It said that we have to step on the brake with the
Pratulya, just unmute yourself.
Sorry, yeah. And it had pressed pause on all economic activities. Now we are slowly stepping forward on the accelerator and we are becoming the world's largest vaccine supplier. So therefore, no, I don't believe that the forecasted FD in the budget, that is 6.8, is alarming at all. Are there any other questions?
Pratulya, we all know that millions of jobs have been lost due to this pandemic. Does the budget answer to the questions of unemployed youth looking for jobs?
Yes, absolutely. If you look at the capital expenditure that the government has initiated in the infrastructure industry, it is 100,000 crore in railways alone as capital expenditure. So this obviously shows that the government is willing to put the money where the growth is. And maybe after the first quarter, the private sector investments will follow. So when government initiates capital expenditure, it's going to employ a lot of people in different sectors. So the engineers, the manual laborers, and masons, etc. Those people all will have jobs which will be created through the investments. The government has obviously started the cycle of investments through which jobs will be created and the GDP as well will be affected. It will increase, upon which the private sector will have confidence in such a sector and it will eventually add more value to it.
Thank you, Pratulya. So now I request Neha Satish Kumar of first year to talk on the topic Inclusive Development for Aspirational India.
Hi, I'm Neha Satish Kumar. So I'm going to talk about inclusive development for aspirational India. The main focus of Budget 2021 was mostly towards agriculture, farmers' welfare, rural India, migrant workers, and financial inclusion. The budget focused mostly on the existing schemes and revolved around the MSP. The MSP had a drastic change over the years, and due to the increase in the procurement at a constant rate, 1.5 times the cost of production of all commodities have given farmers. Swamitra scheme, Swamitra scheme, which was an existing project, is to be extended to all the states and union territories. This scheme is a survey of village and mapping with technology in village areas. It is the physical distribution of property cards through video conferencing. Around 1.80 lakh property owners in 1,241 villages have been provided with the property cards. One Nation, One Ration card plan, which is already in progress, is under implementation in all states and union territories. The migrant workers can use their ration cards in any of the states. A portal to collect information on unorganized labor from and migrant workers to help them formulate schemes for them. Minimum wages and coverage under the Employees State Insurance Corporation has been made applicable for all the categories of workers. Under the Stand Up India scheme for SCs, STs, and women, the margin for loan approval has reduced to 15%. The Operation Green scheme is extended to 22 perishable products in order to boost value addition in agricultural and allied products. 1.68 crore farmers registered under this scheme. Also, Rs 1.40 lakh crores of trade value is carried out through eNAM. Around 1,000 more monies are to be integrated into the eNAMs. Another important aspect covered under this is the development for fisheries. The 5 major fishing hubs in Kochi, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Paradip, and Pettiwar are to be developed into hubs of economic activity. A multi-purpose seaweed park is to be established. Inclusive development is an important aspect of the budget, with a renewal of 112 aspirational districts of India. The budget 2021 has been in a way that it would bring about a change in the economic position of our country.
Thank you, Sneha. So, any questions?
Yeah, I do have a question for Sneha. How can you say that this year's budget has far more efficient as compared to the previous year's budget?
Last year, actually, 9% of the expenditure was allocated for agriculture and 4% of it was allotted for warehousing. This cannot be considered as the best use of resources, right? So the budget allocation for the Department of Agriculture for this year is 8.5%. Though the allocation is actually lower than the initial allocation of last year, the MSPs to the farmers and the decision of state-run agricultural produce marketing committees, the APMCs, has actually been given access, to rupees 1 lakh crore agricultural infrastructure fund. Therefore, the government has actually made provisions to develop the APMCs along with its commitment to MSPs. So in this way, like this year's budget is better than last year's budget.
Any other questions? Okay, so thank Okay, thank you, Sneha. So next, I call upon Ms. Muskan of second year to discuss on the topic reinvigorating human capital. Muskan, please unmute yourself.
Reinvigorating human capital. Reinvigorating human capital has brought onto 4 segments, which is school education, higher education, and scaling. School education, 15,000 schools to be strengthened by implementing all national education policies. Components shall act as an exemplar schools in their regions for mentoring others. 100 new scenic schools to be set up in partnership with NGOs, private schools, and states. Higher education. Higher education. Legislation to be introduced to set up the Higher Education Commission of India as an umbrella body with 4 separate vehicles for standard setting, accreditation, regulation, and funding. Creation of formal umbrella structure to cover all the government colleges, activities, and research institutions in the city for generate surgery. Central University to come up with lay for accessibility of higher education in Ladakh. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes welfare. 750 Eklavya Model Residential School in tribal areas. Revamped post-metric scholarship scheme for welfare of SCs. Skilling. Proposed amendment of Apprenticeship Act to enhance opportunities for youth. Rupees 3,000 crore for development of existing national apprenticeship training scheme towards post-education apprenticeship training, training of graduates and diploma holders in engineering, initiatives for partnership with other countries in skilling to be taken forward similar to partnership. With UAE to a benchmark in skill qualifications assessment, certification and deployment of certificated workforce, with Japan for a collaborative technical intern training program, TIT to transfer skills, technique, and knowledge.
Okay, so any questions?
Muskan, I do have a question. What is actually could you tell me what National Apprenticeship Training Scheme is all about?
Muskan, please unmute yourself.
National Apprenticeship Skills Training Scheme is in India is a 1-year program for all the students. It gives technical qualifications to the youth country. The program gives the practical knowledge and skills that are required in their field of work. Apprenticeship training refers to a course of training in any industry of establishment. Apprenticeship training consists of basic trainings and practical on-the-job training and actual workplace. In addition, apprenticeship get stripped at the percentage rates during the training.
So yeah, I do have a question for Muskan. Okay, so what has been 2021's budget benefit to the tribal people?
The 2021 budget has brought a lot of benefits to tribal people. Like as our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman said, the post-metric scholarship scheme for SC students has been revamped. We are allocating rupees 35,219 crore for 6 years till 2025 to 2026 to benefit 400 crore SC students.
Okay, thank you, Muskan. So now I call upon Sai Pooja of 3rd year to deliberate on the topic innovation and R&D.
Good day all. I'm Sai Pooja. Today I'm going to talk about the budget 2021 to 2022 on innovation and research and development. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman spoke about innovation and R&D as one of the 6 important pillars of Budget 2021 and unveiled several measures to strengthen the public research and innovation ecosystem of India. Enabling the entrepreneurs to propel into sustainable businesses will add value to our economy in the long run and help the country to achieve the Prime Minister's dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The latest economic survey has also pointed out that India must give significant thrust to innovation if it aims to become the 3rd largest economy in the world. Also, there has been a manifold increase in digital payments in the recent past to give a further boost to the transaction, rupees 1,500 crores for the proposed scheme that will provide financial incentives to promote a digital mode of payment. The other following announcements are the National Research Foundation has been allocated a budget of Indian rupees 50,000 crores to be spent over a period of 5 years. It will ensure that the overall research ecosystem of the country is strengthened with a focus on identified national priority thrust areas. Thus, the budget also announced a national language translation mission, which will enable the wealth policy related knowledge on the internet to be made available in major Indian languages. A deep ocean mission with a budget outlay of more than Indian rupees 4,000 crores over 5 years have been announced. This mission will cover deep ocean survey exploration and projects for the conservation of deep sea biodiversity and non-living resources such as underwater vehicle, robotics, ocean climatic change advisory services, technological innovations, etc. Many of the cities in India have various research institutions, universities, and colleges supported by the Government of India. It proposes setting up of a glue grant to create a formal umbrella structure so that these institutions can have better synergy while also retaining their internal autonomy. The science and technology clusters will work in the areas of national importance, leveraging the existing strengths in geographical proximity, driving future economic growth, wealth creation, and enabling rapid and direct knowledge exchange. Such 6 cities clusters have been initiated under the Office of PSA at Bengaluru, Bhubaneswar, Delhi, Hyderabad, Jodhpur, and Pune. Incentives for startup. In order to incentivize startups in the country, Finance Minister proposed to extend the eligibility for claiming tax holidays for startups by 1 more year till March 31st, 2022. To also incentivize fundings for the startups, the capital gain exemption for the investment in startup was extended by 1 more year till March 31st, 2022. The budget has also announced the launching of a hydrogen energy mission in 2021 to 2022 for generating hydrogen from green power sources. By ushering in the hydrogen economy, India is expected to gain significantly by promoting the usage of hydrogen in the power generation and power storage and transportation and industrial heating. The mission that will have an R&D component will help to retain energy and security and reducing the carbon footprint of the country. I hereby conclude by saying the government, with its unconventional and admirable methods, have helped India emerge as a strong yet liberal nation with clear signs of progress. The budget 2021 was surely and enthralling as one of India's expectations were running high. The well-structured budget portrayed an honest effort of the government to address the fiscal and economic issues and render procedural simplification. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Pooja. So any questions?
I do have a question for Pooja. Yeah. Why is it necessary for the government to focus on higher spending on research and development?
Okay, so the emphasis of economic survey has rightly been on healthcare, and on that we too have been highlighted it repeatedly. Also, India needs to build resilience and be better prepared for the future uncertainties. Thus, there should be an emphasis on innovation with higher spending on research and development. While India aims to be the next manufacturing hub, our country must aspire to move up the value chain simultaneously by spending on innovation and R&D.
Sai Pooja, I do have another question. What is the main aim of the new initiative of the National Language Translation Mission?
Okay, so the announcement of the National Language Translation Mission is a much needed effort by the government to reach our citizens in the language they understand. That is, they will enable the policy-related knowledge on the internet to be made available in major Indian languages. They also aim to make opportunities and progress in science and technology accessible to everyone in their mother tongue and remove the barrier of the requirement of high-level proficiency in English.
Thank you, Sai Pooja. So, at last, I'll call Ms. Shweta of first year to deliberate on the topic minimum government and maximum governance.
Good day, everyone. I'm Shweta Srinivasan, and I'm going to share my points about one among the 6 pillars of the budget 2021: minimum government and maximum governance. For decades, we have extraordinarily large governments, while ironically, the quality of governance has been quite poor. There has been more attention paid to the size of the government and not so much to its quality. That's why our Prime Minister introduced a new way of governance, which is minimum government and maximum governance. It is based on Gandhiji's principle of Swaraj. Mahatma Gandhi was a believer in the importance of self-government and believed every village must be empowered to deal with its local issues. Being one of the pillars of budget 2020 to 2021, here are some budget allocations and achievement information regarding minimum government and maximum governance. In case of direct taxes, the corporate tax rate have been slashed to make it among the lowest in the world. The burden of taxation on small taxpayers eased by increasing rebates. Return filers almost doubled to 6.48 crores in 2020 from 3.31 crores in 2014. Faceless assessment and faceless appeal introduced. In the case of indirect taxes, nil returns through SMS, quarterly return, and monthly payment for small taxpayers, electronic invoice system, validated input tax statement, pre-filed editable GST return, staggering of return filing, enhancement of capacity of GST and system, use of deep analyticals and AI to identify tax evaders. These are some steps taken till date to promote investment and employment in the country with minimum burden on taxpayers. 2021 will be a year of milestones for Indian history, as it is the 75th year of India's independence, 60th year of Goa's accession to India, 50th year of 1971 India-Pakistan War, year of 8th census of independent India, India's turn at BRICS presidency, year for Chandrayaan-3 mission. And with a transparent, effective and faster government with minimum manpower, I think it will be a great year with the best government through which we can achieve higher growth rate. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. So any questions regarding this?
Yes, I do have a question. What major impact will this minimum government and maximum governance will have in our government?
As an example for this, our Prime Minister himself in one of his interviews said that his cabinet note would take 6 months to reach the entire cabinet, but now it only takes 15 days. This is what minimum government and maximum governance is all about. It is about fast and effective government with minimum manpower.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Like, we all know that there are many sectors which have been affected during the pandemic. Is there any allotment or like steps taken to improve some of the worst hit sectors like the iron and steel industries?
Yes, they have taken steps. If you see in case of iron and steel industries, the custom duty have been reduced uniformly to 7.5% on semis, flats, and long products of non-alloy, alloy, and stainless steel. Duty on steel scrap have been extended up to 31st March 2020. Anti-dumping duty and countervailing duty have been revoked on certain steel products, and duty on copper scrap have been reduced from 5% to 2.5%. And for MSME, duty on steel screws and plastic builder wares have been increased to 15%. Prawn feed to attack customers' duty of 15% from their earlier rate of 5%. Exemption on import of duty-free items have been rationalized to incentivize exporters of garments, leathers, and handicraft items. Exemption on imports of certain kind of leathers have been withdrawn. Custom duties on finished synthetic gemstones have been raised to encourage domestic processing.
Okay, thank you. So any questions? Okay, so Sai Pooja, we have a question for you from the participant side.
Okay.
So they have asked, like, how will Deep Ocean Mission help in innovation and R&D? Can you please explain that?
Yeah, sure. Deep oceans, they are just a storage house of living and non-living resources. Now, we don't exactly know what is there in our deep ocean. So to understand this better, our government has decided to launch a mission for the deep ocean. So that is what this mission is all about, to understand and know what exactly is there. I hope this is clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Sai Pooja. Okay, thank you all the participants. Now I would request the chief guest of the day, Ms. Bhargavi ma'am, to deliver her views and speak a few words. Ma'am, please.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, great. So Shrutika, Atulya, Sneha, Muskan, Sai Pooja, and Shweta, they were the people who delivered the speech today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, great. So you all did a good job. And the thing is, I'm also happy to be a part of this meeting. The thing is, you all know that we are the future pillars of India as we are the citizens and growing citizens of India. So it is very important for us to know about the budget. And I'm so happy that you guys have a very clear vision as to what the budget 2021, that which was discussed by Nirmala Sitharaman, you guys have clearly understood it. But my point is, you guys should not just understand the budget, you should understand and see if this is being implemented in India. So what I would suggest is you guys should have a meeting regarding the implementation of budget, say probably every quarterly. And it would be great if I would also be a part of it. And I think one girl discussed about Chandrayaan 3. I don't know who that is. I think it should be Sai Pooja, right? Sai Pooja?
No, ma'am, I did discuss it.
I discussed about Chandrayaan 3.
So yeah, can you just come again about Chandrayaan 3, please? It's a mission to the moon, right? Is it being planned now?
Yes, ma'am. It's planned for the year 2021.
Oh, okay. It's planned for the year 2021. Okay, that's great. And I also have a small, guys, so I want to tell you something, that it's so important to talk about budget because budget is planned even in small households. At the same time, this budget that which we have spoken about right now is planned for the entire India. And that budget is completely based on the tax that each and every individual of India is paying to the government. So it is only on behalf of each of us who spoke here and also every citizen of India, the government has taken all these budgets. So what we have to do is we have to clearly analyze as to why this has happened. Is the government doing the right job? And if it is being implemented in our country. So I'm happy to be a part of this meeting again. And I'm so happy that you guys have understood what has been in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Radhika, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I would like to deliver the vote of thanks. Before that, I would post a feedback link in the chat column. Please, all of you, fill the feedback form. Okay, the feedback link has been posted in the chat column. So look into that and please fill it before you leave the meeting. Now I would like to render the vote of thanks on behalf of. Okay, before vote of thanks, I would like to have any other questions. So any participants, would you like to ask any more questions? Does anyone want to post a question in the chat box? Any doubts regarding the budget? The one who is sharing your screen, could you please stop it? Okay. So now I would like to render the vote of thanks. On behalf of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashun Jain College for Women, I would like to thank the management for giving this opportunity to conduct the event. We would also like to thank the principal, Dr. S. Padmavati ma'am, and the vice principal, Dr. S. Rukmani ma'am, for this opportunity. And we also thank IQAC Director NM Kavita ma'am, Director SKC Dr. ST Deepa ma'am, and the Viscom and English Language Department for their support. We would also like to extend our thanks to the chief guest of today, Ms. S. Bhargavi ma'am, for her presence, and CIO Srividya ma'am for the virtual meet assistance, and all the technical staff members for their assistance. I thank our department head, Dr. Ragajalakshmi ma'am and Radhika ma'am for giving this opportunity. I also thank all the participants and the students of all the departments for joining us today. Thank you, everyone. I also like to thank all the faculty members and all the staff who supported us for this event. So the feedback link has been posted again in the chat column. I would like to request everyone to fill the feedback form. Thank you. Now I request Ms. Sundari to sing the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाए तब जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone, please fill the feedback form without fail.